Finally, I'm back with a new CPF video after there is recent news of the new basic healthcare sum update, as well as a slight improvement to the interest rates of your CPF accounts. Also, I will be sharing about some new policy changes as well as my strategy for CPF going forward to 2024. And of course, if you do not want to miss the latest news on CPF updates and discussions, come and join us at over 11,000 members, close to 12,000 now at the Honey Money SG Telegram group. Let's talk about the more important changes first, which is the interest rate, because you would have known that for last year in the special account, MediSave account and the retirement account, short form we call them SMRA, were at 4.0% per annum, and then in 2023 they raised it slightly to 4.04% per annum, and right here in 2024 it's going to be raised further to 4.08% per annum. So that is some good news, because a slight increment is always better than a zero increment. Now for the ordinary account, it will stay stagnant at 2.5% per annum. There is also an update to the RA interest rate computation, because previously RA was assessed annually, but now going forward it will be changed to a quarterly assessment of the RA interest rate. CPF says that the RA interest rate is now computed quarterly to align with SMRA rate instead of annually. So I think that is a good alignment, so we don't have any confusion on how RA interest is computed. Now something linked to OA interest rate will be the HDB concessionary interest rate, which is currently at 2.6% and it will remain unchanged. This is for your HDB loan. So for those of you who are buying HDB flats, be it BTO, SPF or resale flats, you can loan from HDB at 2.6%, which is 0.1% above the OA interest rate. That has not been changed. For CPF members below 55 years old, members earn an extra 1% interest on the first 60k balance of their combined CPF balances, and then for people aged 55 and above, they earn an extra 2% interest on the first 30k on their combined CPF balances and an extra 1% on the next 30k. So that has no change. Therefore, I always encourage people to top up their CPF to at least $60,000 of combined balances. But note that the 1% interest has a cap of 20k in the OA. So make sure your OA is not above 20k before you reach the 60k. And I guess everyone will be looking forward to this update. What is the new basic healthcare sum in 2024? Because the current basic healthcare sum for 2023 is $68,500, and it is announced that next year in 2024 the new BHS will be $71,500, a $3,000 increment. For those who are turning 65 in 2024, your BHS will be the new $71,500. And for those who are already above 65 in 2024, your BHS will remain at your cohort BHS applicable to you at age 65. Then for people who are below 65 like myself, our BHS will always increase year by year until we reach the age of 65. Then the BHS will be fixed. So you see, the basic healthcare sum of the MediSave account will always increase on an uptrend. But you see, the rewards from my sponsor may not last, so you all better sign up right now. 2023 is ending soon, and if you still do not have a Webull account yet, here is one of their great features. Webull offers zero platform fees for options trading, so you just have to pay 55 US cents per contract. You also get a free 1-month Opera subscription for real-time market data as a new customer when you enable options trading. And this is a really useful feature to ensure you get the most updated prices before you execute an options trade. You can trade single option or covered option, and Webull even explains to you what do all these terms mean by switching on the interpretation button. For single option, the Webull app supports long call and long put orders, and for option strategy, Webull supports short options through covered call, put or cash secured put. How do I enable options trading? And I'll show you the step by step. Tap on menu at the bottom right of the Webull app, then tap settings below your profile, then manage brokerage account, tap on options trading, enter your trading password or fingerprint, then open options trading and tick the necessary fields applicable and tap submit. What's more, if you're new to Webull, here are the welcome rewards where you just have to fund any amount and maintain your funds for 30 days, and you'll receive 10 free shares worth from $30 US to $5,000 US. Also, if you fund over $2,000 US, activate Money Pool and fulfill the requirements, you can win up to $3,000 US cash vouchers with their latest Money Pool promotion. So don't miss this offer and get your Webull account using my referral link or scan the QR code right here before the year ends. Moving on, let's talk about my CPF strategy going forward in 2024. And for context-wise, I have already reached the full retirement sum in my special account and also the basic healthcare sum in my MediSave account. So when I have maxed out both of these accounts, my CPF contributions will be supercharged because my Medisave contributions can no longer flow to the Medisave account and it will flow to the special account. But my special account is also already at full retirement sum, so that cannot be flowed to the special account anymore for the Medisave, and it will flow directly to my ordinary account. So here is what is going to happen after 31st December 2023. Your CPF annual interest will get credited, which is 2.5% in the OA and then around 4% in your SA and MA or even RA. Your Medisave interest will still go into the Medisave account. And if I'm using my $68,500 of Medisave account balance, that will be around $2,740, which is 4% of $68.5K. So my new Medisave account balance will be $71,240. And then some of you will say that I thought you said the Medisave can still top up on 1st January, but so close to max already, how I top up? Don't worry, because on 1st January 2024, here is what is going to happen. The Medisave account interest of $2,740 is going to be either transferred to your special account if it's not at max yet, or you will go to your ordinary account if your special account is already maxed, which is exactly my case. So your net Medisave account balance returns back to $60,500, which means that you have that $3,000 of gap to do the voluntary contribution to Medisave account to get your tax relief. Therefore, on 1st January 2024, when the BHS has been raised to $71,500 and my net Medisave account is at $60,500, I will want to do a voluntary contribution to Medisave account for that $3,000 of tax relief. Also, it's recommended to perform VCMA as soon as possible before your employment contributions kick in, because with the December bonus and AWS, it's gonna be quite a huge chunk to be credited to your CPF. And there goes your tax relief opportunity if your CPF contributions are that high. So if you really want to voluntarily contribute to your Medisave on 1st January as soon as possible, I would say Pay Now QR is the best option because it is instant. So I've been talking so much about the BHS. What about the FRS? What is the new FRS of 2024? In fact, we have already known this for a few years ago, and that is $205,800 for the FRS 2024. Anyway, FRS is no longer relevant to me because I already reached it since 30 years old. So the interest compounded with 4% annually will cover that increment, which is around 3.5% annually. Also, to be clear, your SA interest will stay in SA. It will not be transferred anywhere. Therefore, the 4% SA interest, which is credited annually, will make up for the annual increment in the special account, which is your full retirement sum. So you see, I only need to hit the full retirement sum one time, and for 2 years in a row, I have not been topping up to my special account anymore via RSTU because I've reached my FRS. So there's no more tax relief opportunity for RSTU, and I'm okay with that. Anyway, do look forward to my January 2024 CPF annual video because I'll give a review of my full CPF balances, because for 2 years in a row, that has been one of my highest grossing videos, and I think everybody is interested or capable about how other people are doing in their CPF. In fact, I do have a full CPF and retirement planning playlist which you can refer to, and it will show you some CPF strategies that I have discovered over the years, as well as you can plan for your early retirement plan to achieve financial independence, retire early if that is your goal. But if you really want an oversimplified benchmark of how much CPF you should save by age, then you can refer to my previous video right here.